Welcome to day 139 of the New Way. I'll reread Matthew 17, 5 through 6. While he was still speaking, a bright cloud covered them, and a voice from the cloud said, "This is my Son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him." When the disciples heard this, they fell face down to the ground, terrified. And Mark 9:7. Then a cloud appeared and covered them, and a voice came from the cloud, "This is my Son, whom I love. Listen to him." And Luke 9:34 and 35. While he was speaking, a cloud appeared and covered them, and they were afraid as they entered the cloud. A voice came from the cloud saying, "This is my Son, whom I have chosen. Listen to him." We are only told that it was a voice speaking from a cloud, but a quick look at Jewish scripture will solidify the speaker for you. I'll read Exodus 40:34. Then the cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. God took the form of a cloud when he filled the tabernacle of Moses. I'll read 1 Kings 8:10 through 12. When the priest withdrew from the holy place, the cloud filled the temple of the Lord, and the priest could not perform their service because of the cloud, for the glory of the Lord filled his temple. Then Solomon said, "The Lord has said that he would dwell in a dark cloud." At the Temple of Solomon, God resided there in the form of a dark cloud. There may be times in your life when you cannot seem to hear God's voice. You are praying and seeking his direction, but you can't seem to find him. Some followers of Jesus talk about being in a fog with God, not knowing for sure which way to go or what they are supposed to be doing. If you are genuinely seeking God's will, then be still and listen. God is very, very present when we feel that we are in a fog or cloud or darkness. He will speak when we are ready to hear what he has to say. I believe that even though the gospel writers did not identify the voice as God's, we can be certain that it was. Jesus told them to keep this experience quiet until after his death and resurrection. The purpose of this Mount of Transfiguration event was to strengthen Jesus and remind him of his purpose and the plan for him to give his life for the sins of all the people. He would need strength to endure the physical pain and suffering, but he would need special, supernatural strength to take on the sins of the whole world and face separation from God. His disciples needed this strengthening too. They would need to be completely convinced that Jesus was God's Son before they went through all the trauma and grief of the crucifixion of Jesus. You too will have experiences with God that are meant to strengthen you and teach you. You may not want to share them with anyone because they are too precious and special. In his service, Dale.